Waiting isn't scary. What's truly frightening is not knowing how long you'll have to wait. This phrase might be the confession of a human, but in Kobe's case, a loyal golden retriever, it was a reality he had lived through for 7 long years. 7 years of tireless waiting, with no complaints, only eyes fixed on the road, as if anticipating the return of a familiar figure. During this time, Kobe became a symbol of loyalty, a living testament to the power of unconditional love. But could this wait last forever? Or would a miracle one day bring Kobe the answer to the greatest question he had been living with for all these years? Let's explore the heartwarming story of Kobe the dog. The small town of Evergreen had a slow, peaceful rhythm where tree-lined streets seemed to keep time at bay, creating a serene atmosphere entirely separated from the outside world. On a gray, misty morning, when the thin fog spread across the streets, Kobe appeared for the first time. No one knew exactly where he had come from, but suddenly he was there, sitting on the sidewalk in front of a house that seemed to have been abandoned for quite some time. Kobe was a golden retriever with deep, soulful eyes, and though his coat was weathered, it still gleamed golden when the sunlight broke through the clouds. However, what stood out most was his unwavering demeanor, as though Kobe was waiting for someone to return. His eyes were fixed on the distance, as if transcending time and space, always sitting still day after day. The neighbors were the first to notice Kobe's presence. At first they thought he had gotten lost, and someone would surely come looking for him soon. But day after day, week after week, Kobe remained, patient and unchanged, his gaze always fixed on the road, as if waiting for someone. All 5 of us stood there, listening. All 5 of us stood there, listening. Then Kobe yelled, "All the Grails are here!" Kobe had lived through hardship for many years. Winter came with cold winds that cut through the skin, and summer brought scorching heat that seemed to squeeze the breath out of everything. Yet he remained there, in the pouring rain or under the blazing sun, with no warm coat to protect him, no shelter above his head. His frail body seemed to be caught in the passage of time, ravaged by the harshness of nature, but his eyes never wavered from the road ahead where he had chosen to wait. On cold winter nights, when his breath was visible in the air, and during scorching summer days when his fur was soaked in sweat, Kobe never moved. Though his body had grown thin, his legs weary, and he had to fight hunger and endure the bitter cold or blistering heat, he never gave up. No matter how much suffering he endured, Kobe's loyalty never faltered. His eyes, though heavy with sorrow, fatigue, and pain, radiated an unshakable perseverance. He looked towards the horizon with an invisible belief that someone would return. Despite his weakening body and deteriorating condition, Kobe still believed that one day familiar footsteps would once again echo on that road, bringing the person to whom he had dedicated his loyalty for all these years. Deep in those eyes, beyond the sorrow and exhaustion, was a quiet hope, an unforgotten promise. Gradually, Kobe became an irreplaceable part of Evergreen's rhythm. People often stopped by, bringing him water or food, and sometimes there were those who sat beside him, silently sharing in the quiet moments, trying to understand his emotions. But Kobe never spoke. He only remained silent, his eyes still fixed on the distant road. With each passing day, more and more unanswered questions arose in the hearts of the townspeople. Why did he remain so devoted to that abandoned house? How could he maintain hope, even after all these years? Perhaps the answers weren't in words, but in Kobe's steadfast, heartfelt gaze, a symbol of unconditional love and unwavering loyalty. Luna, a 15-year-old girl who had recently moved to Evergreen with her parents, noticed Kobe immediately. With her curious nature and kind heart, she couldn't help but be drawn to the dog that always stood waiting by the empty road. She felt a strange connection and wanted to understand why Kobe had remained loyal there for so long. With a deep love for animals, Luna decided to approach Kobe, gently pet him, and begin a conversation with him, hoping to uncover the story behind his resolute eyes and silent waiting. Luna stepped closer to Kobe, her heart full of curiosity and empathy. She sat down beside him, gazing into his deep, soulful eyes, and gently spoke. "Hello, I'm Luna. I just moved here with my parents. You must be a very special dog, right? I see you standing here every day, always looking down that road. Are you waiting for someone?" Luna sat down and softly stroked Kobe's smooth coat, hoping that one day he would share with her the things he had kept hidden in his heart for so many years. Since meeting Kobe, Luna couldn't shake the image of the loyal dog sitting there day after day, waiting by the empty road, with eyes full of hope and sadness. Sensing Kobe's loneliness and perseverance, she decided she wouldn't let him suffer alone. Every afternoon after school, whether the sky was cloudy or it rained, she would bring food and water to visit him. One day, while exploring the abandoned house where Kobe often rested, Luna discovered an old, faded photograph. It showed a couple and a boy around Luna's age, standing next to Kobe. A wave of emotion washed over Luna as she realized that Kobe wasn't just waiting for anyone. He was waiting for his old family, the ones who had loved and cared for him. The secret that Kobe had carried all these years was finally revealed. Luna held the photograph in her hands, filled with questions and confusion. She looked at the happy faces of the family in the photo, then glanced at Kobe, who sat beside her with a contemplative expression, as if still carrying an unsolved sorrow. Luna wondered, why had they left without taking Kobe? Her mind raced with thoughts, her heart heavy. Could they have been cruel enough to abandon him for some reason? She couldn't believe that, not when the family in the picture looked so full of love. Or perhaps something had happened to them, preventing them from taking Kobe with them. Luna imagined a scenario where they faced an agonizing loss, unable to care for him anymore. Or maybe when they moved, Kobe had not been at home, with no one there to take care of him. These possibilities swirled in her mind, adding to her confusion. Then, Luna decided that she would ask her parents if they could adopt Kobe. She didn't want him to continue living in loneliness and deprivation. More importantly, she believed Kobe deserved a real home, a place filled with love and care. When Luna shared her intentions with her parents, they were surprised, but they also understood her compassion. After some thought, they agreed, realizing that to Luna, Kobe wasn't just a dog, he was a friend, a member of the family. The whole family was overjoyed to welcome a new friend, and their home grew warmer with Kobe's presence. Yet, even with his new family, Kobe still kept his daily routine, standing outside from morning until late at night, gazing into the distance as if waiting for someone. It was a habit that couldn't be broken. One day, as weak sunlight filtered through the window, Luna noticed that Kobe seemed weaker than usual. He no longer ran around joyfully, and his eyes appeared sunken. His body had grown visibly thinner. Luna's heart filled with concern. She quickly called her parents, and the family decided to take Kobe to the vet for a checkup. At the clinic, after examining him, the vet looked at Luna and her parents with a serious expression. "Kobe has a heart condition," the vet said, his voice lowering. "Your dog only has a few months left to live unless he receives proper care." The vet's words hit the family like a heavy blow. They could hardly believe what they had just heard. Luna looked at Kobe, the sweet dog she had loved and cared for all this time. Every day, Kobe had been her loyal friend, always waiting and always by her side. But now, he only had a few months to live. The entire family fell silent, their hearts stopping for a moment. Luna's parents exchanged looks, but no words were spoken. Their eyes carried an immense sorrow. Luna grasped Kobe's paw, tears streaming down her cheeks. Knowing that Kobe's time was running out, she decided to do one last thing so that he wouldn't have to live in hopeless longing. She couldn't let Kobe pass away without reuniting him with his former family, the ones who had always loved and cared for him before they were separated. This determination spurred Luna into action, and she quickly thought of a way to find Kobe's family. With a strong belief in the power of technology, Luna decided to use social media. She took a photo she had found in the abandoned house, the old, faded image of Kobe's former family. A couple, a young boy about Luna's age, and a golden retriever. Luna wrote an emotional post sharing Kobe's story, his loyalty, and the endless waiting he had endured, and called out to anyone who recognized the family in the photo or knew anything about them to get in touch with her. "We're looking for the family of a golden retriever named Kobe. He has lived in this town for a long time, 7 years, and has always waited for someone to come back. It seems like his family. We want to reunite him with them before it's too late. If you recognize the family in this photo, please contact us." Then, one day, a miracle happened. Robert, the son of the family who had lost Kobe, happened to see Luna's post. He immediately recognized the dog in the photo as Kobe, the dog his family had been forced to part with when they moved far away. His heart raced, and his mind flooded with memories of the happy days spent with Kobe, playing in the yard with the loyal dog. Unable to believe his eyes, Robert quickly contacted Luna. In their conversation, he shared the story of his family, the reason they had to leave, and the heartbreak of not being able to bring Kobe with them. He and his family had tried to reconnect with Kobe over the years, but had been unsuccessful. Now, seeing Luna's post, Robert believed this was their last chance to be reunited with their beloved dog. "Luna, I'm Robert. I'm the son of the family that Kobe used to live with. We've lost touch for so long, but I recognized him the moment I saw the photo. Kobe was an important part of our family, and I can't let him go again. They'll come right away." Luna felt overwhelmed with happiness upon receiving Robert's message. She immediately told her family and made preparations to welcome Kobe's former family back. When the moment arrived, as Robert and his family appeared at the end of the street, everything seemed to slow down. Luna's heart pounded in her chest, her eyes fixed on Kobe's figure sitting silently, his gaze still directed toward the horizon. No one knew what had kept Kobe there all these years. But now, with the return of his former family, perhaps the long wait would finally come to an end. That day, the sky remained as gray as it had on all the others, but the air seemed to have a new vitality. Robert's family stood by the side of the road where Kobe had waited for so many years. They stood quietly, their eyes fixed on the distance where Kobe had appeared every day, his gaze not only filled with hope, but also with unspoken waiting. The atmosphere was full of emotion, and perhaps only those who had loved Kobe as a family member could truly understand this feeling. Robert, along with his parents, walked toward the old tree where Kobe had waited. Each step seemed to stretch on, their hearts heavy with emotions they had not yet expressed. It had been so long since they had seen Kobe, so long since they had been with the dog they had once loved so much. They never imagined that this reunion would happen right here at the place where their loyal dog had always stood waiting. Then, from a distance, a weak figure appeared. It was Kobe. The dog they had known was still here, although much weaker now. His coat faded and his body not as strong as before, but those eyes full of boundless hope, still lit up as he saw his former family. This time, it was the presence of the people Kobe had waited for all these years. Robert's father, with his graying hair, slowly approached. When he saw Kobe, his hands trembled, tears threatening to fall. He knelt down, reached out, and called out to his dog, "Kobe, son, do you remember me, Kobe?" His voice choked with emotion, as if every word carried the sadness and regret of having let the dog endure loneliness for so long. Kobe, with tired but determined steps, approached the man who had once been his owner. Though his legs seemed unsteady, his eyes did not mistake him. He recognized the man. He recognized the ones who had loved him unconditionally. Robert's mother spoke, her voice trembling with emotion, tears streaming down her cheeks. She hurriedly knelt and embraced Kobe, burying her face in his fluffy fur. "We were wrong not to bring you with us, but now we will never let you be alone again." Robert, with tears streaming down his face, watched the scene, his heart filled with emotion. He stepped forward, crouched down, and petted Kobe's head, choking on his words. "Kobe, I missed you so much. We couldn't be together before, but I promise, this time I will never abandon you again. You've always been a part of the family." Kobe, despite his weakening health, seemed to hear the promise that had been made. The dog turned around, wagging his tail, as if to confirm it, as if offering a heartfelt thank you. He stood there, motionless, yet his eyes were filled with joy, a gaze that sparkled as though to say, "Finally, everything is right." A long moment of silence passed, but none of Robert's family wanted to break it. Everything seemed to stop, and time appeared to slow down, leaving only love, reunion, and endless happiness. They had found Kobe, the loyal dog, the companion who had spent 7 years waiting for only one thing, the return of his family. As Kobe's eyes met his family's, it seemed as though all the pain and exhaustion within him had been soothed. He no longer had to wait. Happiness had returned, and with each step his family took, Kobe would never be alone again. This beautiful ending was a testament to unconditional love, loyalty, and the power of hope that never fades. After the reunion, Robert's family brought Kobe back to live with them. The warmth returned to their home, as if the years of separation had been healed. Kobe was placed on his old bed, where everything had changed. To Robert's family, Kobe was no longer the frail old dog, but a cherished memory, a loyal friend they'd once lost. Robert's mother prepared food for Kobe, while he and his father changed the dog's warm clothes and took care of every small detail. They were concerned and stayed close to Kobe, knowing that his time was limited. Each morning, the family cared for Kobe, and every evening they sat by him, watching as he peacefully slept. Although he no longer had the strength he once did, the joy in Kobe's eyes and the wag of his tail brought immense happiness to the family. They cherished every moment with Kobe, showing him that even though time was short, he had been loved and appreciated. Every afternoon, the family sat beside Kobe, feeling the love he had given them over the years. Though time was running out, Robert's family would always remember that Kobe was an important part of their lives, and they would love him into the very last moment. 4 months passed. Though Kobe had been cared for with love, his heart disease continued to ravage him. His small body no longer had the strength to fight the long-standing damage. One quiet afternoon, as the sun began to set, its weak light shone through the window, illuminating the room where Kobe lay. Robert's mother sat by his side, gently stroking his fluffy head, soothing his back, as if not wanting a single moment to pass without Kobe feeling the love. The dog had fought for 7 long years to reunite with his family, and had finally found peace in his final months. But now, the fatigue from the illness had worn him out. Robert, the son of the family, sat beside his mother, holding Kobe's small paw, his eyes red from crying. "We'll never forget you, Kobe," Robert whispered. "You were the best friend we ever had." Kobe looked up, his eyes fading, but still filled with gratitude and love. He no longer had the strength to move, but deep inside, knowing that his former family had come to be with him in his final moments, was enough to bring him peace. Robert's mother softly repeated, her voice choking, "You've suffered long enough, haven't you, Kobe? But now, you will rest. No more pain." With a gentle breath, Kobe slowly closed his eyes. The family remained silent, only the sound of muffled sobs breaking the stillness. Tears silently fell on Robert and his parents' faces. They embraced each other, sharing the grief of their loss. "Kobe is gone, but Kobe will always live in our hearts," Robert said, his voice tight with emotion. "He was a part of our family forever." In that quiet space, Kobe passed away, leaving a void in the hearts of his family. The loyal dog had spent his life waiting, and at last, when reunited with his family, he left peacefully, with love and gratitude overwhelming him. Kobe's story came to an end, not just as a moving journey of a faithful dog, but also as a powerful source of inspiration for the community. The days Kobe spent in pain and waiting were etched into the hearts of everyone, reminding them of the strength of love and the unconditional loyalty that animals can offer. Kobe's perseverance and love made the community unable to ignore his story. After Kobe's story was widely shared, many people in the town and beyond began to reassess the relationship between humans and animals. Animal rescue organizations started launching campaigns to encourage the adoption of homeless dogs and cats, while also urging people to search for and help lost animals, not only providing them with a home, but also a chance to live a safe and fulfilling life. Kobe's story also encouraged people to adopt animals instead of simply purchasing them from pet stores. As a result, a wave of love and responsibility began to spread, making animal shelters more hopeful and giving abandoned dogs and cats the opportunity to be loved and cared for as part of a family. It was Kobe's sacrifice and affection that helped the community become more aware of its responsibility to protect and care for animals. Kobe's final days, though filled with sadness and pain, became a source of motivation for people to open their hearts and reach out to help these small defenseless creatures, turning the world into a warmer, more loving place for all.